Hello Cowboys Nation, welcome to another video, and without further ado, let's get to another round of news from America's team. Cowboys and star pass rusher Micah Parsons, close enough to get a new deal done. All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys are close enough on his second NFL contract following his rookie deal, in the words of Jerry Jones. "I know about the years, and I know about the guarantees," Jerry Jones said following the Cowboys' pre-draft press conference on Tuesday. "I know about those kinds of things, and really it's close enough to work on a number. I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I don't need to adjust." That means the Cowboys owner and general manager and his son Steven, Dallas COO and EVP, are into the nitty-gritty of the numbers regarding Parsons' per-year salary. However, the two sides remain not close enough in that department, with the younger Jones indicating a desire to re-sign Parsons, who is the only player to have at least 12 sacks in each of his first 4 seasons in the NFL. That being said, there's still a ways to go to get to the right number. You look around the league at most of these players who are getting these very top contracts, it does take time ultimately to get there, and believe me, if we could sign Micah to a number we wanted to sign him to, we'd do it right now, Stephen Jones said during Dallas' pre-draft press conference on Tuesday. But right now, there's a difference in what we feel is the right number, and what he feels like is the right number. Parsons is currently playing nice with the Cowboys by showing up to the team's voluntary workouts that have begun under first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer, and he even showed up to Tyron Smith's retirement press conference last week. That's because both sides possess an understanding that a deal will eventually get done, just like it did for both quarterback Dak Prescott and wide receiver CeeDee Lamb last offseason. Prescott didn't hold out last offseason before receiving a 4-year, $260 million deal hours before kickoff in Week 1, while Lamb did until his 4-year, $136 million contract came after the team returned from Oxnard, California. Micah Parsons sends direct message to Cowboys front office. The Cowboys star wants his extension done soon as he looks to eliminate distractions ahead of training camp. Parsons has been in attendance for the team's voluntary off-season workouts, a show of good faith amid negotiations. However, he also emphasized that he would like to finalize the deal before training camp. "It's really important. You see a lot of players struggle when guys aren't participating in camp. They get off to a slow start. I don't want to get off to a slow start," Parsons said. "I want to hit the ground running and establish ourselves in this league. Get some wins early in the season and be in rhythm. It's going to be extremely important." Bengals receiver Ja'Marr Chase recently reset the bar for non-quarterback contracts. Parsons is expected to surpass the $40.25 million annually that Chase makes. Cowboys tip their hand with favored running back target in draft, and it's a disappointing one. There's no doubt that the Dallas Cowboys should be addressing the running back position in the 2025 NFL Draft. We saw last offseason how poorly the strategy of pretty much ignore it went. The free agent duo of Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders are intriguing, but they can't be the only solution. But the Cowboys have so many draft needs, and some they're looking at early in the draft, that fans shouldn't expect it to be a guy like Ashton Jeanty coming in to save the backfield. Instead, it's likely to be a late-round pick or two. In the lead-up to the draft, the Cowboys have even tipped their hand about which late-rounder they prefer, and it's not one that's going to excite fans. There are only 3 prospects the Cowboys have hosted for multiple visits ahead of the draft, and 2 of them were defensive players. The one on offense was a running back, Miami's Damian Martinez. Martinez projects as a late-round pick. NFL.com has him with a round 6 projection, and that fits into where Dallas should be looking to address the position. They have the 3rd last pick in round 5, 2 picks in round 6 and the 1st pick in round 7. That's 4 picks that all fall right into Martinez's likely draft range. But Martinez feels like an underwhelming, short-term focused pick. He's a fun back to watch, with size, strength and physicality that will remind Cowboys fans of Marion Barber. And while he was a lot of fun to watch, How much value does a guy like that bring to a modern NFL offense, especially when you consider that we're talking having a similar style, not similar level of talent, to Marion the Barbarian? That's not someone who ever profiles to have the upside of being a lead back in an offense, let alone a real workhorse. Of course you're not expecting your 6th-round running back to be the next Ezekiel Elliott, but you usually at least want them to have the potential to be a starter. Instead, Martinez feels like he would be a short-term answer to addressing a specific role that needs filling. Williams and Sanders don't bring the physicality and short yardage value that Martinez would. So this pick would not only be a firm commitment to a committee backfield, but it would also commit the Cowboys to needing to consistently bring in players like Williams and Sanders, who offer more as receivers and with big play ability, for as long as Martinez is in town. Cowboys Courtland Sutton trade rumor sizzles with breaking news update. The Dallas Cowboys have a wide receiver dilemma that can possibly be solved in this week's NFL draft. Or, it can definitely be solved in a trade for a homegrown product from Brenham, Texas, who checks all the boxes. Courtland Sutton, still just 29 years old and entering the final year of his deal, has been on the Denver Broncos trade block for at least a year or two. There was even a bit of a standoff between he and the Broncos last off-season. Sutton was seeking a pay raise and skipped some of the team's voluntary workouts as a means of protest. CowboysCountry.com reported a month ago that Denver might be pivoting to a full youth movement around quarterback Bo Nix, and that for Sutton and the Broncos, it feels like the end is finally near. And that report now seems to be coming to fruition. ESPN's Adam Schefter on Monday night reported the Broncos have made inquiries about trading up in the first round from 20th overall. Dallas has an opportunity with this more than a rumor concept that should cause it to answer that phone. And on Tuesday at the Star, Jerry Jones revealed that Dallas is working on a pair of substantive trades, causing an assortment of outlets to connect the Cowboys to names like Jameson Williams of the Lions, George Pickens of the Steelers and Courtland Sutton. The SMU product Sutton, standing at 6'4", with a physical presence and proven red zone ability, is ready-made for that role. Dallas engineers a trade back from pick 12 to 20 in exchange for Sutton. That drop would still allow Dallas to go after North Carolina's Amarian Hampton, or somebody of his ilk, to solve the desire to add a starting running back.